What's going on, guys? It's Jake, and we have some more awesome news to talk about. In yesterday's video, I talked about some lower quality pictures and some names for some of the releases in October. Well, those pictures that we talked about weren't really the best, and they were just from Korokoro leaks. But now we have some really high quality pictures straight from Takara Tomy that we're gonna look at. So let's just get right into it. Now guys, before we hop into the news, if you could hit that like button down below, get this video up to 1,000 likes, that would be amazing, and subscribe to join the Nook Nation to see more Beyblade news, Beyblade videos, and maybe some other stuff if I feel like it. Now the first bit of news that we're gonna knock out is knock out Odin. This is the prize bay from the new random layer volume, and this random layer volume is being done in a really different way, and I don't really like it at all. So let's see what's up. So pretty much with the past two random layer volumes, you were able to get pretty much any of the 4 layers, and you were able to get the prize layer pretty easily. You didn't really have to buy that many random layers. Well, it looks like they're changing how they're doing it, and now you're gonna get one of each part kind of randomly. So instead of getting all of Knockout Odin, you could just get the GT chip and a bunch of other random parts. The amount of combinations of parts that you can get is pretty insane, which means it's going to be even harder to get Knockout Odin all together. And that's, I don't know, that's pretty insane odds, and it's going to be really hard to get all of the parts here for Odin. And I don't know, I mean, I'll try and get it, but if I don't really think I'm going to care that much. Now, let's just get into the hype news. That way we could talk about the random booster last. And the hype news to me is the B153 GT customized set. We don't really know the combos quite yet, but we know what bays are going to be included and pretty much what they look like. So starting off with the less hyped up part of the set, we have Cosmo Dragon, and it looks really nice, and it's in the same kind of color scheme as Pegasus and Valkyrie, and I really like the blue. Cosmo I don't actually have, so I can't really say if that's going to be good or not, but I already have like 90 dragons at this point, so it would be nice to see something else there. But Cosmo Dragon, it looks cool. Then we have Erase Fafnir, and that is also kind of interesting. The Erase layer base is kind of cool, but I didn't really think it was that good, to be honest. It really, I mean, compared to Savai or something like that, I don't really think it was that great for attack. And the Fafnir teeth really are not that good, so we'll see how this combo works out. Then guys, we have Prime Apocalypse, and this one looks awesome. It doesn't even really look like a GT bay to me. It just looks completely different, especially the whole middle part. It's not gonna accept any layer weights, that's for sure, so it's gonna be in the same as like Lord Spriggan, and it just looks really awesome. The disc is 0, and there is no confirmed driver just yet, but I'm thinking they're gonna do kind of something pretty unique for the driver. I'm expecting some sort of electric aspect to it. I don't really know. I really think that these bays are going to be really different than any of the GT bays that we've had before. I don't know. I really hope that we see something really unique for Prime Apocalypse and for Regalia Genesis. Now, I don't have a super high quality picture of Regalia Genesis just yet. I don't really know if that's quite available, but I do have this picture, and it kind of shows them side by side. It's a little bit lower quality though, and then whenever I do get a higher quality picture, I'll post it on my community tab, so make sure to follow up on my community tab. Looking at the picture though, it does look more oval in shape, and I really do like the color scheme here. It's that gold and white. It looks really nice to me, and it's definitely going to be more defensive. It could even be like a stamina type or something compared to Apocalypse, which is an attack type. Oh, and one more thing about Apocalypse, it actually has this insane anti-burst gimmick, and this was shown off at the end of the most recent episode of Beyblade Burst GT that was posted to the Takara Tomy channel. Nobody really knows quite how it works just yet, but basically the bay just can't burst. You can literally spin it around and it'll just keep going. Hopefully there has to be some way that you can make this bay burst, or else it completely goes against Beyblade Burst in general. We'll just have to see though until Takara Tomy goes over this bay a little bit more, but as of right now, it's pretty exciting. Next up, we have the new Random Booster Volume 17, and in my last video, I was saying hopefully they do something that makes the Random Booster a little bit cooler, because Tact Longinus really was not my favorite. I thought it was just kind of meh for a Random Booster prize. Well, they definitely made the entire Random Booster really awesome, and we're gonna go over the bays that come in it, and it just looks sick. There's a lot of really cool recolors in here, including 2 MFB bays, so let's get into it. So first off, of course, the main prize is Tact Longinus, but the secondary prize is Lightning El Drago. And right there, as soon as I saw Lightning El Drago, I was immediately sold. I was immediately really wanting to get this booster again. And I'm really hyped for it. Lightning El Drago probably is my favorite MFB bays, or one of my favorite MFB bays, that's for sure. So this is a recolor though, if that matters to you guys at all. The regular coloring is still gonna come in that big MFB anniversary set, but you know, that's cool. I'm still fine with getting El Drago in a random booster. Then we have another release of Storm Pegasus, and this has a recolored wheel or fusion. That's not a fusion wheel. This isn't MFB. Part of the layer is recolored blue, so it kind of looks reminiscent of an old recolor that we saw a long time ago in MFB. I'm not really too sure if it's the same parts, like if it still has Quick Dash and 10 on it. It may or may not, but if not, that's still okay. It's still cool to get another Storm Pegasus here, especially in the same random booster as Lightning El Drago. And then next to it is a pretty odd recolor of Bushin Valkyrie. These don't really go together. I like the Valkyrie chip because I think that pink is really cool. The Bushin layer base though, not really my favorite. Next up, we have a white and black recolor of Wizard Bahamut, and this one looks amazing. It's probably my favorite recolor out of all the recolors that we have so far in just this random booster, because it looks very similar to the white and black Valkyrie that we got in the last random booster. It also has the Jin layer weight, which makes the layer weight even more widely available at this point, so I'm always down for that. And the layer weight is black. It's just overall, I think this is pretty awesome. And then next to that, we have Judgment Pegasus, and dude, the recolors in this random booster are just insane. You have like this crimson kind of bloodish red Judgment layer, and then the Pegasus chip just looks really awesome to go along with it. And I don't really know how good this combo will be or anything, but it just looks really nice. But that does kind of round off the recolors that I think look really great. The next one we have is Tact Fafnir, and it's kind of the same deal they did with the last random booster where we had Flare Dragon and then Flare Ashura, but now we have kind of the same thing going on, and we have like a green Tact with a green Fafnir. I'm not really the biggest fan of it, to be honest. And lastly, we have Rock Joker, and the yellow and red, I mean, it looks nice. I'm just not the biggest fan of the color scheme here. It's just not really my favorite colors being put together. It kind of reminds me of McDonald's a little bit, but maybe that's just me. But that is pretty much going to wrap up the pictures that we have, guys, and there's just so much to talk about here and so little to talk about at the same time, because parts really aren't super known, and we still have to wait for a full Korokoro video. But there's just so much speculation that we can have. The parts and just the recolors look really nice in both the random booster and the random layer volume. It is kind of lame though that on the random layer volume they're changing it up, and now you can just get a bunch of random parts. I think that kind of sucks. And this might be kind of a hot take, but if they were going to do that, at least make the layer that comes with it a little bit more exciting. In my opinion, an Odin is not exciting enough to spend as much money as you're probably going to have to in order to get the full layer combo. I think it would have been a little bit cooler to try and go for a new Excalibur or something. And then of course with the B153 customized set with Regalia Genesis and Prime aPocalypse, they just look really awesome, and they just look really unique when it comes to GT as a whole. They look very different than the typical GT bays. Maybe that means something for the future or the last couple releases of GT. We'll just have to see. But let me know what you guys thought of the bays in the comments down below. But that's gonna wrap up the news. If you like this video, make sure you hit that like button down below and hit subscribe to join the Nook Nation so we can get to 230,000 subs. And of course, like I said earlier, let me know what you guys think of Regalia Genesis, Prime Apocalypse, really any of the bays in the comments. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Have fun and bay away.